Well, this little beauty is the latest addition to my little Daisy BB gun collection. And I was really stoked to get this one and really happy with it. This is a Daisy Model 95B. These are called Widebody Daisies, and I'll explain why in a minute, but they are, relatively speaking, this is a fairly modern Daisy. The 95Bs were first made in 1979 and the production ran until 2003. So, alright, still over 20 years old, but I think this was one of the later ones because it is in such good condition. It really is. It's minty. It's almost new, this thing. It's just brilliant. Oh, and while we're on the subject, I want to make a quick shout out here to the dealer that I bought this from. Now, I'm not sponsored in any way. They haven't paid me to do this. It's just that I've bought 3 Daisy BB guns from them so far, and they come superbly packed up. Excellent service. The website is Airgun Spares and the Country Store Gun Shop. They trade under John Nibbs International. And as I said, I bought 3 Daisies from them, and I've had nothing but excellent service. They're in the UK, a dealership in the UK, and they're just excellent. Right, so why are we looking at this gun today? Well, the video is not actually about the gun, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of a heads up on it. I absolutely love this gun, and it's one of the most accurate Daisies, BB guns that I've got. However, one of the things that I would like to change on it is the lever. Oh, sorry, this is an American gun, so the lever. Now, I'll close in on that and I'll explain why. Now, I was going to explain why the 95B is called a wide-body Daisy. So, in comparison, I've got it next to my Daisy Red Ryder. Now, obviously my Daisy Red Ryder isn't standard because I've put new wood stocks on it, which I made myself, but it's still useful as a comparison against the 95B to explain why one is called the wide body. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the camera angle and stand the guns upright so you can see them side by side from the top. Okay, this is the 95B, this is the Red Ryder. Now, if you look closely at the receiver on the two of them, you'll notice that the 95B is flared out, particularly noticeable here, and it's much wider across here than the Red Ryder is. And that means that one of the nicer things about that is that the stocks, and I'll just scan down that way a little bit, on the wide body Daisies, let's come out a little tiny bit, excuse the 1, 2, 3 blocks, but they help the guns to stand upright. So yeah, the stocks on the wide body Daisies can be much more shaped, and they're much more like a conventional air rifle stock, whereas the Red Ryder and the other narrow body Daisies, they tend to have slab sided stocks with just rounded edges. So yeah, let's come back again. So yeah, that is the difference between what is known as a wide body Daisy and a conventional Daisy. This flaring out of the receiver, where you can see the edge, the lip running along there where it flares out around the stock. So they're very nice. They look very nice. I think the wide bodies are actually better looking than the conventional Daisies, but that's just my personal preference. So there you go, that's the difference. So there's the lever and the trigger assembly. Lever and the trigger assembly. Now, like a lot of the more modern Daisies, this one has a plastic lever. This is plastic. And I would really much like to change that out for a metal version. However, whilst Daisy in the United States do sell metal levers, they are designed to fit the Red Ryder, and the Red Ryder has a curved lever, not a straight lever, so therefore they won't work on here. So I was thinking, what options have I got? And it did occur to me that, well, it's not a particularly big item. I might be able to cast an aluminium one, which is what I want. I want an aluminium lever for this gun, but I might be able to cast one using the original lever as a pattern. So let's take it off and have a look at it. And here it is. Now, I think quite lucky here from the point of view of using this as a pattern for casting. All of the edges are nice and rounded, so it should withdraw from the casting sand quite easily. It also is flat, it lays flat. There are some indentations in it around where the little clip part here is, but the rest of it is, it's flat. So yeah, I think that that would probably cast up quite well. And my crucible will hold enough liquid aluminium to actually to fill this. So the only other problem is that I don't have a casting flask that's long enough for this at the moment, so I'm going to have to make one, but that's a fairly simple job. But yeah, I think we can have a go at doing this. Well, I spent the best part of today in the workshop making this rather crude, but I hope effective, casting flask for the Daisy lever off of the 95B. Now this thing is, as you can see, not the greatest construction in the world, but it will do the job, and it's custom designed to fit the lever. Now I've also made a mod to the lever because I didn't want to do anything to the lever, but I was scratching my head about how I was going to extract it from the casting sand. So I'll show you what I've done. I've machined up a tiny little brass bush, which you can see here, which is a tight push fit into the hole where the lever mounting bolt goes. And I've threaded it 6BA. So the idea is that when it's in the mould, in the sand, I'll be able to thread 6BA bolt in like that very carefully, and that will help me withdraw, I hope, withdraw the thing from the sand. That's the theory anyway. We'll see whether that happens, whether that works or not when we get a chance to try doing this. Yeah, so all I've got to do now is wait for some decent weather so I can get outside, fire up the furnace, and see if we can make ourselves an aluminium lever.